The life and sad ending of Dennis Hopper. Dennis Lee Hopper was born May 17, 1936, in Dodge City, Kansas, the son of Marjorie May and James Millard Hopper. He had Scottish ancestors and two brothers, Marvin and David. After World War II, the family moved to Kansas City, Missouri, where the young Hopper attended Saturday art classes at the Kansas City Art Institute. When he was 13, Hopper and his family moved to San Diego, where his mother worked as a lifeguard instructor and his father was a post office manager. Hopper was voted most likely to succeed at Helix High School, where he was active in the drama club, speech, and choir. It was there that he developed an interest in acting, studying at the Old Globe Theater in San Diego and the Actors Studio in New York City. Hopper struck up a friendship with actor Vincent Price, whose passion for art influenced Hopper's interest in art. He was especially fond of the plays of William Shakespeare. Hopper made his film debut in two roles with James Dean, who he admired immensely: Rebel Without a Cause in 1955 and Giant, 1956. Dean's death in a car accident in September of 1955 affected the young Hopper deeply, and it was shortly afterward that he got into a confrontation with veteran director Henry Hathaway on the film From Hell to Texas, which was released in 1958. Hopper forced Hathaway to shoot more than 80 takes of a scene over several days before he acquiesced to Hathaway's direction. After filming was finally completed, Hathaway allegedly told Hopper that his career in Hollywood was finished. In 1959, Hopper moved to New York to study method acting under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. In 1961, Hopper played his first lead role in Night Tide, an atmospheric supernatural thriller involving a mermaid in an amusement park. Then, Hopper credited John Wayne with saving his career, as Hopper acknowledged that because of his insolent behavior, he could not find work in Hollywood for 7 years. Hopper stated that because he was the son-in-law of actress Margaret Sullivan, a friend of John Wayne, Wayne hired Hopper for a role in The Sons of Katie Elder, released in 1965, also directed by Hathaway, which enabled Hopper to restart his film career. Hopper acted in another John Wayne film, True Grit, released in 1969, and during its production, he became well acquainted with Wayne. In both of the films with Wayne, Hopper's character is killed in the presence of Wayne's character, to whom he utters his dying words. Hopper had a supporting role as the bet-taker Baba Lugitz in Cool Hand Luke, released in 1967. In 1968, Hopper teamed up with Peter Fonda, Terry Southern, and Jack Nicholson to make Easy Rider, which premiered in July 1969. With the release of True Grit a month earlier, Hopper had starring roles in two major box office films that summer. He won wide acclaim as the director for his improvisational methods and innovative editing for Easy Rider. The production was plagued by creative differences and a personal acrimony between Fonda and Hopper, the dissolution of Hopper's marriage to Hayward, his unwillingness to leave the editor's desk, and his accelerating abuse of drugs and alcohol. Hopper said of Easy Rider, "The cocaine problem in the United States is really because of me. There was no cocaine before Easy Rider on the street. After Easy Rider, it was everywhere." Hopper was unable to capitalize on his Easy Rider success for several years. In 1970, he filmed The Last Movie, co-written by Stuart Stern and photographed by Laszlo Kovacs in Peru, and completed production in 1971. It won the prestigious CDALC Award at that year's Venice Film Festival, but Universal Studios leaders expected a blockbuster like Easy Rider. Hopper was able to sustain his lifestyle and a measure of celebrity by acting in numerous low-budget and European films throughout the 1970s as the archetypal tormented maniac, including Mad Dog Morgan, Tracks, and The American Friend. With Francis Ford Coppola's blockbuster Apocalypse Now, released in 1979, Hopper returned to prominence as a hyper-manic Vietnam-era photojournalist. Stepping in for an overwhelmed director, Hopper won praise in 1980 for his directing and acting in Out of the Blue. Production was reportedly often delayed by his unreliable behavior. Hopper's cocaine intake had reached 3 grams a day by this time, complemented by 30 beers and some marijuana and Cuba Libres. Then, Hopper entered a drug rehabilitation program in 1983. Though he gave critically acclaimed performances in Coppola's Rumblefish, 1983, and Sam Peckinpah's The Osterman Weekend, same year, it was not until he portrayed the gas-huffing, obscenity-screaming villain Frank Booth in David Lynch's Blue Velvet in 1986 that his career truly revived. He won critical acclaim and several awards for this role, and at the same year received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role as an alcoholic assistant basketball coach in Hoosiers. He was nominated for an Emmy for the 1991 HBO Paris Trout. Next, he co-starred in the 1994 blockbuster Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and as magic-phobic H.P. Lovecraft in the TV movie Witch Hunt. In 1995, Hopper played a greedy TV self-help guru, Dr. Luther Waxling, in Search and Destroy. The same year, he starred as Deacon, the one-eyed nemesis of Kevin Costner, in Waterworld. And in 1996, he starred in the science fiction comedy Space Truckers, directed by Stuart Gordon. In 1999, he starred in The Prophet's Game, a dark thriller, directed by David Worth, and also starring Stephanie Zimbalist, Robert Yoakum, Sandra Locke, Joe Penny, and Tracy Birdsall. In 2003, Hopper was in the running for the dual lead in the indie horror drama Firecracker, but was ousted at the last minute in favor of Mike Patton. In 2008, he played the death in Wim Wenders' Palermo shooting. His last major film appearance was in the 2008 film Elegy with Ben Kingsley, Penelope Cruz, and Debbie Harry. In his television career, he appeared as an arrogant young gunfighter, the Utah Kid, in the 1956 episode Quicksand of the first hour-long Western television series Cheyenne, starring Clint Walker. He appeared in the very first episode of the popular TV series The Rifleman, which ran from 1958 to 1963, as protagonist Vernon Tippett. He subsequently appeared in over 140 episodes of television shows such as Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Petticoat Junction, The Twilight Zone, The Barbara Stanwyck Show, The Defenders, The Investigators, The Legend of Jesse James, Entourage, The Big Valley, The Time Tunnel, and Combat. In his personal life, Hopper was married 5 times. With his first wife, Brooke Hayward, he was married in 1961 and divorced in 1969. They have a daughter, Marin Hopper, born 1962. His second wife was Michelle Phillips, and they married October 31st, 1970. They divorced November 8th of the same year. His third wife, Daria Halprin, he married in 1972. They divorced in 1976, leaving one child, daughter Ruthanna Hopper, born 1972. His fourth wife was Catherine Lanasa. They were married June 17, 1989, and divorced in April of 1992. They had one child, son Henry Lee Hopper, born 1990. His last wife, Victoria Duffy, he married April 13, 1996, and they separated January 12, 2010. Together, they had one child, daughter Galen Greer Hopper, born 2003. On September 28, 2009, Hopper, then 73, was reportedly brought by ambulance to an unidentified Manhattan hospital, wearing an oxygen mask and with numerous tubes visible. On October 2nd, he was discharged after receiving treatment for dehydration. On October 29th, Hopper's manager Sam Maydew reported that he had been diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. In January 2010, it was reported that Hopper's cancer had metastasized to his bones. On March 18, 2010, he was honored with the 2,403rd star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in front of Grauman's Egyptian Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. By March of 2010, Hopper reportedly weighed only 100 pounds and was unable to carry on long conversations. He was terminally ill and unable to undergo chemotherapy to treat his prostate cancer. Sadly, Hopper died at his home in the coastal Venice district of Los Angeles, aged 74, on the morning of May 29, 2010. His body was buried at the Jesus Nazareno Cemetery in Ranchos de Taos.